Hello everybody, this is Daniel with Daniel's Bullion Coins. So we're out here on the back deck this morning and it's going to be a hot one. But we want to talk a little bit about bartering. And I've been a big proponent in all of my videos telling everybody to find those connections, make those connections with your local farmer, and start learning to trade in gold and silver to purchase things. And also to have a skill, whether it's cutting and chopping firewood and having firewood for sale, and that takes a lot, to have the skill and the safety and the equipment, and know how to sharpen the equipment, know how to store the equipment, have backup equipment, have several different ways to split the firewood, as an example. So this is a skill that you're going to need to have, and some sort of gold and silver to barter with. And the third part is the connections. To know these people ahead of time, make those connections. And what this does is this supports the local farmer. It supports the local firewood guy who's cutting and chopping the wood. He can buy the equipment and expand right now if you'll start bartering with him for firewood. And there are people out there that will sell you firewood for silver. So what I want to talk about today is how to get started learning how to do that. And the easiest one is the 90% silver, the old constitutional dimes, quarters, and half dollars and dollars that are made pre-1965. So if they're dated 1964 and older, they're going to be 90% silver. And you can take those in trade for your goods and services. The exchange is $1.40 worth of dimes, quarters, halves, or Morgans and peace dollars equals 1 ounce of silver. So we can say that an ounce of silver is today is about $20, but there's a premium on top of that that makes the coins right around $30. I'm just using round numbers. It's probably you could say 35 retail right now for an ounce of silver coins, dimes, quarters, halves, Morgans and peace dollars, all dated 1964 or older. And we have the silver eagles 1986 and newer. They are 1 ounce, so they're easy to know. You've got 1 ounce there. But 1964 and older, you need $1.40's worth of face value to equal 1 ounce of silver. So in other words, 4 quarters dated 1964 and older, and 4 dimes 1964 and older would equal $1.40. That is 1 ounce of silver. And so if you come up to somebody and they've got a basket of fruit and it's $35, well, you know that that's 1 ounce of silver, whether it's 1 eagle 86 and newer or $1.40 1964 and older. You can begin to barter with that person. If you have 1964 and older, you have incremental fungible advantage. You can negotiate the price down a little bit. Or if the basket is $17, well, that would be 70 cents of the 90%. You just cut the $1.40 in half. You've got 70 cents. The price is half of the spot price for gold and silver, for the silver with the premium on it. And you can arrive at your number. Or if it's $70, that's twice the spot price with the premium added in, then it's going to be $2.80 face value of the dimes, quarters, and halves. So that'll get you started on trading for taking your constitutional dimes, quarters, and halves and your eagles, your silver eagles, 86 and newer, and trading with somebody. Start out getting some firewood, start out getting some eggs, that type of thing. I've been telling this to people for years and years and years. And about 5 or 6 years ago, I had a guy come in and I told him, go out to the farmer's market and try this out. And he did. He went out. He told me he did. He said he went out to various farmers market and talked to people, and he was able to find some people to do that with. I haven't heard from that guy in years. I don't know if he ever actually traded with anybody or if he actually did it, but he sounded like he was doing it. But I actually had my first customer want to trade in silver for a product that he had. This is a stock pot that we use for canning, hot water canning. And I saw this at an antique shop in an antique booth. And I know the guy. And so I sent him a picture. I said, hey, I'm interested in purchasing this. And it holds 9 quarts in there. And it has nice wire separator. Doesn't look like it's ever been used. And it doesn't have any chips or scratches on it or anything. The size is what amazed me. I've never seen one this big. You see 7 quart all the time. And you see jelly jar size all the time, but you never see a 9 quart water bath canner like this. You just don't see it, and it's certainly not made new. So I texted him a picture of it, and I was really surprised when he texted me back that he wanted to be paid in silver. And so we started, goofing around, playing around, texting each other back and forth. Two silver maple leafs, 2 silver dimes. No, give me 3 silver maple leafs. No, give me 2 dimes. Just playing around back and forth. But because he had watched my videos and I had said how important it is to learn to trade in silver, he wanted the silver and instead of the cash. Said he didn't need the cash, he would prefer the silver. So this is my first customer after all these years of telling people to learn how to trade in silver and start to barter in silver. This is my first item that I've bought from somebody and gave them silver for it. So that was exciting. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, let's say you're the firewood guy, you're splitting and stacking firewood, and someone comes up and they're desperate for firewood. They need to keep warm, the power's out, there's just been a snowstorm. The power's been out for 2 weeks and firewood's really hard to find. The banks are down, there's no cash available, but they have a wedding ring or some gold jewelry that they want to trade for the firewood. You can go down to Harbor Freight. These used to be $9, but welcome to inflation, they're over $15 a piece now, and they've gotten a lot cheaper. This is a small digital scale, and you want to set this on grams, not grains, not penny weight, but grams. Set it on grams. And it's got a setting, a mode setting, M-O-D-E, and you set it on grams. And you can weigh a gold ring. Now, you can look up on the internet to see what the gold is going for at the time, but what they pay. But it's a long calculation to calculate from the spot price down to the 14 karat or the 10 karat. So it's best to have an idea. Right now, 14 karat, they are paying, the wholesale buyer that we sell to is paying about $30 to $32 per gram. And I think the 10 karat is like $25 per gram. But most any internet site that you look on, Kitco or SD Bullion, any one of those sites has a scrap metal section, and they will tell you what they're paying. Or you can calculate it down from the spot price. If the spot price is $2,000, you divide 31.1 into the 2,000. That's how many grams are in a troy ounce. And if a troy ounce is $2,000, just divide whatever the price is. Say it's 2,000, divide 31.1 into that, and then you multiply that by the content of the 14 karat, which is 0.585, and that will tell you what the dollar amount is for the full weight of the gold. Now, you want to be back from that gold price to figure in your profit, to exchange it, all of that, and your losses. Your material, you've got to buy the tools, you've got to have the knowledge and the experience to do that, but mainly the losses. there are fakes and copies out there. Primarily, you want to stay away from anything white gold. That's most likely going to be stainless steel, and it's going to be marked 14 karat or 18 karat. That's usually what you see. If you see 18 karat and white gold, stay away from that. Stay away from chains, long necklaces that somebody may have changed the clasp on. A lot of times people will take the clasp off of a small, cheap, no good necklace and put it on a large, heavyweight necklace, and you'll look at the clasp and see that it's 14 karat and buy it, and it's a heavy weight, and it's not, it's plated. You can get into acid testing and magnets and all of that, and I'm not going to go into that today, maybe later on another video. But necklaces with a clasp on them, white gold, just stay away from those. Just do rings that are marked 14 karat or 10 karat. If you do a 10 karat ring, it's 0.416 that you multiply the dollar amount by to get down to what they will pay if the internet is down. But you need to have this skill ahead of time where you're taking in gold rings and gold necklaces. We'll do a video here shortly, acid testing and magnet testing gold and silver for purchasing. But most people who are out in the field, they've got a load of firewood they want to sell, and someone's got a handful of stuff, gold rings or necklaces or jewelry or whatever. Just take the rings, the gold rings that are marked 14 and 10 karat. No clash rings. Most of the clash rings are fakes and copies. So stick with wedding bands, engagement rings, things like that that are marked 10 and 14 to get yourself started. And then as far as acid testing, magnet testing, we'll do a video on that later. You can buy a loop, also a magnifying glass, to see the 10 karat and 14 karat for, I think it was $2 for this. They used to be under $1, but over $2 now. But get yourself a magnifying glass and a small scale, and be ready for when desperate times come and people are willing to trade in gold and silver to get your skill and your ability. Firewood is going to be a real big demand, so that person needs to be equally ready. So look forward to a video where we're going to be showing you acid testing and magnet testing, taking you to the next step on taking gold and silver as payment for firewood or food or skills or whatever you happen to have. And once again, my first product, after years, 10 years of telling people to trade in gold and silver, I finally got someone to do that off of one of my videos. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, commenting. If you comment, I promise you it's going to generate another video, because it gets my mind to thinking, and I love to answer questions and help people out. Thank you so much. Have a great day.